China's Mistress. China's Mistress Village is crazy by Asmongold TV. So yeah, I guess we're gonna have some fun. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's watch it. Let's watch the Baldy video.
Huanggang Village in Shenzhen is widely recognized as a wealthy village, and
The
it used
Road
to be
King.
famously known as the Mistress Village. Back in the day, the village was full of beautiful women. Their boyfriends were mostly businessmen, white.
By the way, Asmo, I hope your father gets better for real. Like, if you guys don't know, Asmo dad is in a terrible situation right now, and many health problems, much complications, and I hope everything goes fine to him and his dad. Yeah, that's it. Let's continue.
Collar workers and truck drivers who traveled between Hong Kong and Shenzhen. At its peak, Huanggang Village had around 50,000 mistresses. The village was packed with massage parlors,
50,000?
karaoke bars, nightclubs, and other places associated with the sex industry, earning it the nickname a paradise for Hong Kongers. However, in recent years, as Hong Kong's economy has declined, the once popular trend of keeping mistresses has gradually faded.
That's surprising. Holy shit! What the fuck?
I didn't know that the Hong Kong economy was declining. I had no idea about that.
Why would they stop that?
Huanggang Village is separated from Hong Kong by just a river. Although it's called a village, it's essentially in the heart of the city. This village, with a history of over 700 years, is now known as one of the most affluent urban villages. The village gate is decorated with intricate dragon carvings on stone pillars, with lions standing guard in front, creating a luxurious atmosphere. Even from a distance, you can't help but marvel at the grandeur that sets it apart from other urban villages.
Yeah, this looks really good.
In the 1990s, Shenzhen took advantage of its
Oh my
proximity
God,
to Hong
golden
Kong, leveraging
buildings?
special policies and incentives
Where's the
during
mistress
China's
part?
reform and
Okay,
opening
it's
up
coming.
era.
Never mind. I was worried.
As a result, a large number of Taiwanese,
I was
Hong Kong,
worried.
and foreign enterprises came to invest and build factories in Shenzhen.
Asmo
With
concerns
capital
are
flowing
interesting.
in, many investors and business people from Taiwan and Hong Kong followed. Shenzhen, as a special economic zone and the forefront of reform, also attracted
This is a
thousands of
video
migrant
for
workers,
China Observer, I
including
guess,
many
right?
young and beautiful girls.
What a
These
surprise.
girls mostly came from rural areas. Some were quite simple and used to a hard life, making them easier to get along with. They carried the burden of supporting their families at a young age. At the time, wages and prices in Shenzhen were relatively low. Wealthy men from Hong Kong could spend between 4,000 to 8,000 Hong Kong dollars to keep a young woman in an urban village.
Damn. And so they just spent that money? Holy
Whoa.
fuck. That's crazy. Okay.
Soon, the trend of keeping mistresses spread throughout Shenzhen.
That's like what he's like buying a, like, it's like that manga, like what? Some kind of manga like that, like the guy that rents a girlfriend. I forgot the name.
The so-called mistress villages were residential areas where wealthy men kept their mistresses. During China's rapid economic growth, some businessmen and officials would
Would they
secretly
be like
establish
what,
such
a
homes
month?
on the outskirts of the city to hide from their wives. These urban villages became a special community and were seen as symbols of indulgent lifestyles. Huanggang Village is near the Huanggang port, which was a key crossing point between Shenzhen and Hong Kong. A certain flashy group of people regularly passed through this port. They wore large gold chains, carried bulky cell phones, and spoke Mandarin with a Hong Kong accent. They frequented the most upscale restaurants in Huanggang Village, often accompanied by young, beautiful women.
This is crazy how popular that shit is over there. I feel like over here, it's like way less... It's like way less common.
I think in some sense, most of the countries have at least one place like this. Like in my country, you find many places like this, I guess.
Like nowadays, I feel like nobody really brings this shit up at all. Like maybe every once in a while I'd see this like normalized in like Las Vegas, but I feel like over there it's totally different.
As this lavish lifestyle expanded, certain residential developments in Shenzhen's Luohu district, like Yijing Garden and Jinglu Garden,
We have even a place here that I cannot talk about because YouTube don't like you to show actual problems. He prefers to demonetize you and take your video down. So I would go as far as say that it's, in my opinion, in my opinion, at least up until what I know about Epstein list files, it's above the level. Okay. It's above the level.
Became known for their high concentration of mistresses. In the mid-1990s, Shenzhen's central area shifted westward to the Futian district, and areas like Changsha Village, Shazhui Village, and Shuiwei Village became favored hotspots for Hong Kongers to hide their mistresses. The widespread and open practice of keeping mistresses was arguably unparalleled in Chinese communities. According to Hong Kong anthropologist Professor Tan Xiaowei, by the late 1990s, 1 in 6 Hong Kong men working in mainland China had a mainland wife.
Jesus.
Oh my
God
God.
damn.
How they have
So
money
1 in
for
6
this?
of these girls just showed up? Holy fuck. Kind of stupid mistresses are just hookers? Yeah, basically they are. Yeah, that's what I would say.
All of these men were big bosses. Some were ordinary workers earning tens of thousands of Hong Kong dollars per month. Hong Kong, as a port city, served not only as a central hub for economic and trade exchanges between mainland China and the West, but also as a link connecting mainland China and Taiwan. At the time, Hong Kong was one of the top free trade ports in the world and a global logistics center, with the advantage of being a duty-free port. It had one of the busiest container terminals globally, and various service industries flourished.
So it's just my thoughts here, but for example, I read had talkings with people on Hong Kong owns, and you know there is one thing that they don't like to say, like very much, like they dislike very much when people call them like Chinese, you know, because they don't like to think that they are part of China. But now I understand better why the economic situation is getting worse. Yeah, I prefer to not go further as that because I know nothing about China to keep talking about this stuff. But it kind of makes sense with this stuff. I know, like, yeah, and they are trying to do the same with Taiwan. Yeah, I will, yeah.
As a result. Hong Kong's container truck drivers and taxi drivers were already earning over 10,000 Hong Kong dollars a month. Hong Kong Port became the busiest border crossing for both passengers and freight in China, and it was also the first to operate 24 hours a day. With trucks frequently traveling between Hong Kong and Shenzhen, a trend of men keeping mistresses in Shenzhen emerged. In the evenings, areas near Huanggang Port, such as Huanggang and Changsha Village, would be lined with large container trucks parked along the roadside, as drivers headed to their love nests to meet their mistresses.
Damn.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That what you
Oh
say?
my fucking God. It's insane. Yeah, this is... I guess that makes sense.
Back then, diligent Hong Kong truck drivers could earn around 30,000 Hong Kong dollars a month, which was incredibly tempting for young women from other provinces who came to Shenzhen for work. These women, who often worked overtime and only earned around 1,000 yuan a month, were drawn to the possibility of a much higher income. What's surprising is that the mistress industry became completely open, with no taboos around either seeking a sponsor or being a...
It's just totally fucking normalized. Oh my God.
sponsor. Some Hong Kong businessmen even openly recruited lovers, and the mistress industry adopted a referral system. A woman who had already become the mistress of a Hong Kong man would recommend her cousins or close friends when she knew that her lover's friends were also looking for someone in the mainland. These women, often matched by their hometown friends, quickly became mistresses to Hong Kong truck drivers. The men would rent a place close to the border and provide their mistresses with around 4,000 to 5,000 Hong Kong dollars a month for living expenses.
Damn. All right.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money.
Aside from waiting for the drivers to come back for a short rest, the daily routine for these women consisted of shopping, playing mahjong with their friends, and comparing who received the most money from their patrons. Many Hong Kong businessmen, especially those involved in the jewelry and clothing trades, also followed this trend and started maintaining second homes in Shenzhen. Over time, not only rural women, but also female university students became a primary source of mistresses. It was a well-known fact that female university graduates faced employment difficulties, especially since many companies discriminated against women. Some of these students, burdened by student loans and struggling with financial difficulties at home, felt
I mean, in my country, it's already common for these medicine students that wants to become a doctor, they usually have people paying them to do sexual stuff. Like, be a lot, and like they had side jobs as doing secret stuff at night. Let's put like that. Yeah, so in order to pay the university, they sell themselves, they sell prostitution.
immense pressure to find a job quickly. If they couldn't, the impact on them was significant. Whether they were working-class women or university students, their goal was the same: to make money quickly, improve their lives, and support their families. When they couldn't achieve that through conventional means, becoming a mistress seemed like a natural alternative.
What a surprise. What a fucking surprise. Yep. I feel like this is what happens anytime. Oh, if it is AI, I don't think it's AI. It's just somebody reading the same way. Yeah, I think this is pretty normal. It's a symbiosis. Yeah, I feel like people do this in every culture. This is super fucking normalized. It's not even a question.
Yeah, that's very
When they're
common.
working, they look fucking miserable. The whip is always near. Yeah, that's probably true. It's the same as like OnlyFans, right? I mean, OnlyFans is it's a different way of this, but I feel like it's pretty much the same thing.
At that time, the mistress industry in Shenzhen had already become well organized, symbolizing a certain sense of fashion and trendiness.
Do you think this is
Hong Kong
bad or
media-
good? Is it bad to have a mistress culture? I feel like it's probably bad. Yeah, I do.
I have no idea actually. Like, the first things that come out on my mind is just the bad stuff, But I don't know. I really don't. I still think that is bad. Because even though you need very much the money and you were in poverty, and this is like the only option that you see in your situation, given their situation, that like it's very favorable to them to do this stuff, I still think that you shouldn't be doing that. And not because morals, not just because like morals or that ethic, because it's ugly to do this stuff. It's not like that, but it's because the cost for you is actually higher than they actually are thinking about. And thank God that I realized that like since very young, because most of the people don't realize this stuff, don't have this idea. They just go there and do it, think, oh, it's nothing, and it's not like, I will still be the same after doing that. Like, no, you are not. And even in each more time, the more you do that, the less you be the way you were before. And because you've done that a few times already, you feel like you have to keep going that way. It's like the more you do, the less likely it feels like the more you do this stuff, the less chance you have to come back of having a normal life. It's the feeling that these people have inside their heads, So the further they go, the more further they push into doing this stuff until like 10, 20 years pass by, and you really and you see the price is way more heavier than you thought, that you thought on the beginning. Like way, way more heavier. This will impact in your health. This year impacts not only your physical health, your mental health, mostly I would say like most of the problems will be mental, will be like psychological. And yeah, it kills you. In my opinion, it kills you inside little by little. I think nothing is worth that, nothing is worth that, in my opinion.
I think it's bad because
I would use another example, but I'm really, really trying to not have my videos demonetized. I'm sorry, guys, but that's how YouTube is. I'm sad that I have to start doing this stuff. Like, I have to try to censor myself in a lot of stuff now because it's getting more and more complicated to be here.
I have a lot of kids, and then like the kids probably end up getting born, and then they don't have a dad around. I feel like it's probably not good for the culture. Yeah. Sounds pretty bad. I would say so.
Even gave Shenzhen the name Mistress City. Mistresses in Shenzhen generally fell into two categories. The first was the long-term type, where the woman's Hong Kong boyfriend was usually older, and there was a more established emotional bond between them, making the relationship relatively stable. The second was the short-term type, where the relationship...
People do really use that thing to move inside the house? Like, oh, no fucking way, man. No fucking way, oh no.
only lasted around a year or so, resembling more of a cohabiting boyfriend-girlfriend situation.
See, that's what's crazy to me about it, is like they just have people that live in that are like basically paid girlfriends. Oh my god. People hook up through OnlyFans. I feel like that happens a lot with like Instagram, because like I see models talking about that all the time. It's super fucking common.
Typically, when the man stopped showing up or refused to pay for her upkeep, the woman would break up with him, sell off everything in the house, end the lease, and either leave Shenzhen or find another man to support her. According to a report by Phoenix TV, there were as many as 50,000 mistresses in Huanggang Village alone. Other areas like Bagualing, Hongguei Road, and Xinzhou were also densely populated with mistresses. In other parts of Guangdong, such as Zhangmutou in Dongguan, the number of mistresses reached a peak of 120,000.
Jesus. In one fucking place? This is insane. Buy up top to there. I need to move there. This is insane. Pay me to exist. I know.
This is really insane.
This is insane.
Yeah, I think in that case, the doing that is way less detrimental because the number of partners that they will have through life will be pretty much less. But at the same time, I don't think that there is patrons, like they like to call, like patrons for every girl. Like, look at how many of these girls are there. Clearly, most of them cannot have a partner to pay out stuff for them like that. But like, clearly don't.
It's estimated that there were at least 300,000 mistresses in Shenzhen. Many Hong Kong men chose to have their mistresses settle down in these areas, and if you talk to these women, they would all say the same thing. In a couple of years, my child's father will arrange for his Hong Kong residency. Adi, a young woman from rural Hubei, saw her allowance from her Hong Kong boyfriend increase from 8,000 yuan a month to 20,000 yuan. She kept herself well-groomed, visited beauty salons for manicures, enjoyed afternoon tea, played mahjong with friends, and spent her evenings watching movies or chatting online. She had a comfortable place to live, and her job was simple. She only needed to spend 4 or 5 nights with her boyfriend each month. Every time...
Wow. What a fucking job.
Yeah, the problem is she's spending like crazy, you see? And she should be at least saving, Because she will get older. And that job is limited by time, Of course, they can go do other stuff like on the sexual market. When older, but will not value the same, clearly. Also will have more difficulty and getting quote unquote hired, So she should be saving the most as she could and not spending on fancy nails. I understand that investing on fancy nails can be like some kind of an at least it's the excuse that she might use on herself, like, oh, I'm investing in my job because I'm getting prettier for my partner. So no, but I don't. I just think that she just want to spend that much on nails. Like, you can have your nails pretty, but don't expend like that much. It's absurd. Please don't do that. And yeah, I mean, it's just my opinion. Okay, it's just my opinion.
That is crazy.
They
Oh
met,
my God.
He would also give her gifts like bags, shoes, or cosmetics. For Adi, who had never finished middle
Oh, just now
school, he would give her gifts.
Just now I realized that this is a fucking shoe. I didn't realize that. I just realized just now. Oh my god, when the image was almost
like
changing.
bags, shoes, or cosmetics. For
Damn.
Adi, who had never finished middle school and lacked any real skills, this lifestyle left her feeling content. One girl once said, working in a factory means laboring for over 12 hours a day, barely earning a few hundred yuan. Living with a Hong Kong man means no work and no worries about life. What's wrong with that? That's the phenomenon of being
true. That's the thing, is like a lot of them, they probably don't have anything else that they're going to do. So yeah, they're just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. Yeah, and also like they probably make way more money doing that than anywhere else. I feel like that's like it is a very, very...
She should be saving all this money for like, and living with enough to have for when she not be able to get more customers. I would say that, I mean, the thing, I'm not saying that she will be ugly after 30 or 40, but thing is that the guy who is willing to pay all this much for a girl will not pay for a 30 or 40 years old woman. He will pay for another 21, you know? Like when she gets older, the guy will simply change her for another younger one. So, you understand what I mean? That's the thing. And they don't seem to realize that, or they fake to not realize that. I don't know.
True thing. My 4-pound Billy Sue, purple hair America, expect the same. Maybe, right?
The mistress became more common. The mistress villages flourished, coinciding with Hong Kong's goal.
Maybe if you did a very good job to the man you're with, like provide a real good experience to him, because he already know you for like, I don't know, 5-10 years already for that long, he maybe spend the next more 10 years with you just because of the good feelings you provide to him, not because your appearance anymore only. I mean, you still have to be pretty in the degree you can for your age, like, but you have to be, you will be with him for what you provided for all this time. You will create some kind of connection. But I mean, if he somehow decide to change you for a girl that it's on her 20s, then you will have problem to find a new partner with that age. It's what I believe. Because why they would choose you in your 40s when they could choose you one with 20s, you know?
Golden age of economic growth. The community in these villages became increasingly complex, with relationships becoming more
Oh, I could like ask for less money than them. This is not a problem. These people can pay for what they want. So, I'm the guy is willing to pay $10,000 for a girl at her 20s. So I would just ask for like 5. they don't care about it. It doesn't make any sense to them. So this is not what it's about in this case. So you're screwed if you're not saving. You're screwed.
transactional. Take Xiaoling, for example. She stopped her education after middle school and heard that she could make good money in Shenzhen. To support her family, she followed her fellow villagers to Guangdong to work. At first, she worked in a factory and lived in a dormitory, but soon she moved out. She met a wealthy Hong Kong businessman who claimed to be single and said that she was lonely from working abroad.
Who claimed to be?
Oh boy.
Who claimed to be?
Oh boy, oh boy. Yep, there you go. Take the call? I guess so. Yeah, women have live easy lives? Bro, come on. Asma wants to change jobs? Yeah, where is this again?
Xiaoling, young and inexperienced, fell for his sweet talk and became his mistress. Later, she found out
Man.
that he had a wife and daughter in Hong Kong.
Oh my god.
That's never happened before.
Even though she realized
Yeah,
that she
that's
had been
never
deceived,
happened.
she couldn't give up the comfortable life. The businessman
Of course, like she doesn't even care. Don't fake that you didn't knew that. Of course you knew.
promised Xiaoling that if she could give him a son, he would give her a
It
lump
probably
sum
is
of
the most of
300,000
case
yuan,
for
a
most
huge
of them.
amount at the time. The condition was that the child would be raised by his wife in Hong Kong, and Xiaoling would not see the child again. If it were a daughter, she would receive
Oh my
80,000
god,
yuan,
that
but
is
the child
terrible.
would still go to the wife. Xiaoling accepted, reasoning that even after 10 or 20 years of hard work, she couldn't earn that kind of money. After Xiaoling gave birth to a daughter, the businessman quickly arranged to send the child to Hong Kong. It wasn't until Xiaoling experienced the pain of being separated from her child that she realized what sort of deal she made. She begged the businessman to let her keep the baby until the child's first month, but he refused and transferred the promised money to her. He also told her,
What a surprise. What a surprise. Yeah, shit start. No, this is how it is.
my
Yeah, the
God.
wife knew. I guess so. It's got to be trafficking. That is actually like, so that's another big reason why a lot of this stuff can be really bad, is that the overlap between this and trafficking, huge fucking overlap. Massive fucking overlap. It's not even quite, it's so bad.
to disappear immediately.
Especially like, and it gets, see, like it gets worse and it gets better in some cases when it becomes legal, right? Because like the people that are doing it in a way worse way when it's legal, but or sorry, when it's illegal. But there's probably a lot more people doing it whenever it is legal.
Warning that if she continued to
Oh
bother
my
him,
God,
her
oh my
reputation would
God.
be ruined. Xiaoling then realized that she would never see her child again, and the businessman ruthlessly
I didn't
abandoned
even
her.
thought about this.
Many women in the
Makes
Mistress
total
villages had
sense.
experiences similar to Xiaoling's. Some didn't have children, but their stories often ended in sadness. After China joined the World Trade Organization, it became closer to Western countries, and the incomes in mainland China started rising. Real estate prices continued to climb, and the pressure of high costs discouraged Hong Kong men from keeping mistresses in Shenzhen. Nowadays, Hong Kong
They getting expensive, bro. That's the hoflation right there. Oh my God, are the children are use organs? Yeah, exactly,
Hoflation.
right? No, it's really fucking scary.
Hoflation.
It is. Like, that's why it's bad. Poor woman, consequences for action about men working 12 hours a day. Well, I think that, like, you can notice that, like, something like this is bad while at the
Hoflation,
same
my
time
God.
saying, you know, like, it's obvious that, you know, like, there's a bad component to it as well.
Kong's economic growth has been dragged down by the mainland's economic slowdown and tensions between China and the U.S. Foreign investments in Hong Kong are rapidly withdrawing, and Hong Kong's status as an international financial center continues to decline. Former mistresses either sell off their possessions and look for other wealthy men to support them or return to the workplace. They are like a form of property attached to their patrons, always at risk of being discarded. One woman who had been a mistress to 4 different Hong Kong men said,
I don't feel sad. It's our their choices in the end of it, like the choices of their lives. So you have to be accountable for the decisions, to hold accountable for the decisions you make to your life. You know, you have to take accountability for it. So you decide to go on this do this thing now. You're gonna need to prepare for the consequences of it. That, as you guys saw in this video up until now, they may come way before than expected. Like, they don't even need to age, as you see.
now Hong Kong men have no conscience when it comes to mistresses, because
I wonder why. Yeah, there you go.
We wonder why.
Back to factory. Yeah, how's getting expensive? It is. Yeah. What the fuck do you expect? Exactly. Women on only wave making good money. It's pretty bad. I think it's probably more complicated than that. I think it's like it's the people that come from villages that didn't have other opportunities that would come and take advantage of this because of that.
But in the end, it's still their decision to do that. No matter what it is, it's still their decision. Maybe, I don't know, I do not be a hypocrite, but maybe if I were in their situation, if I were raised up on the place that they were, in the environment, circumstance that they were, maybe without a parent, like without my dad or without my mom, or created without both, like for another family member, I would take the same like decision as they did, you know? Like I don't know, but it's still at least than me of now with the way I was built on these years, you know, the knowledge I have, my life experience, and etc. 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 I would never in any situation regarding like regarding my situation, I would accept such a
With
thing.
the economic downturn, they don't offer lifelong support anymore. It's become more like a monthly rental arrangement. In recent years, you hardly see Hong Kong drivers in Huanggang anymore. Industry insiders say that Hong Kong drivers can no longer afford to spend money in the mainland. Their annual income has dropped to around 200,000 Hong Kong dollars, which doesn't match the rising cost of living. It's hard enough for them to visit their mistresses twice a month, given they spend over 12 hours a day on the road. Many rely on garlic to stay awake just to maintain their income.
Oh, I didn't know that garlic is has this usage. I really had no idea.
What the fuck? That's insane.
Hong Kong's truck drivers are just one example of industries that were once thriving but have now fallen into decline. Today, Huanggang Village has lost its former
I mean, I know the relation between garlic and blood pressure, but I didn't know that he could be used like that.
bustle. If you walk around asking about mistresses, only the older generation still remembers the old stories. Most people have forgotten the secrets of the past. Standing at the archway of Huanggang Village and looking out, the streets are now filled with busy office workers. The Mistress Village has become a thing of the past. Economic factors have played a role in the rise and fall of the Mistress Villages. Among Hong Kong's economic decline, Shenzhen's Mistress Villages are gradually being swept away by the tides of change. One could say that while Hong Kong is in decline, Shenzhen's future may not be so different. The cost of maintaining...
I feel like that's what happens in any sort of like big country like that, or any big area like that. It happens a lot. They aren't going to elaborate further than that. Yeah, like, why the fuck does garlic work? I have no idea. Do you remember the Hong Kong protests? Yeah,
I had
well, those
no
are
idea
really
as well.
big. It was insane.
A mistress is far beyond the reach of ordinary people. However, for China's corrupt officials and wealthy individuals, it's not an issue. In fact, even across the ocean in Los Angeles, there are similar mistress villages. In the hills east of Los Angeles lies an area filled with
I bet
villa-style
you find
residential
stuff similar to
neighborhoods.
that
As you
everywhere.
drive up the mountain roads, you'll see rows upon rows of mansions, surrounded by vibrant gardens. This is Roland Heights. It's said that wealthy Chinese businessmen and officials spend millions to buy luxury homes here under the guise of
It's a nice fucking place. It is.
managing the villas, allowing their mistresses to live there openly. These rich and powerful men can't visit often, usually coming only once a year for 10 days to 2 weeks before returning to China. For the rest of the year, the mistresses are left alone in these grand homes. These women not only live in luxury homes and drive expensive cars, but they also have little to occupy their time. During the day, they go shopping, eat out, buy clothes, get their hair done, and visit beauty salons. This has led to the booming
What a surprise. Yeah, LA. Yeah, there you go. OnlyFans house. Exactly.
success of Chinese restaurants, beauty salons, clothing stores, and video shops in the Roland Heights area. In the evenings, the mistresses often gather to play cards or even stay up all night playing mahjong. The mistresses tend to share similar backgrounds, experiences, and hobbies, so they like to stick together, having plenty in common to talk about and helping each other out. As a result, they buy homes close to one another, and over time, the Mistress Village formed, gaining a reputation among the local Chinese community. The presence of so many mistresses can be seen at Los Angeles International Airport, where every day Chinese women are anxiously waiting at the arrival gates for flights from China.
What a surprise. Yep. What a fucking surprise, bro. They're spawn camping him. Yeah, there you go. Housewives of China. I know. Moving there right now. There you go. Oh,
When an older
fuck.
man emerges,
Wow.
one of the young women will rush to meet him.
I bet Asmo could pay some there. I don't know how many.
taking his arm and heading off in a Mercedes or BMW towards
What?
Roland Heights.
Why?
These mistresses share another common trait. They're all young and beautiful. Some of them are even singers or actresses, but time catches up with everyone. Over time, some mistresses have fought with the legal wives for their husbands and succeeded in becoming the official wife. Others have remarried and become someone else's wife. For those who didn't marry,
I bet this is the least of the least of the least of the cases. I bet
or didn't
that.
want to, they sold their homes for a profit and moved into cheaper properties. In recent years, Los Angeles real estate has been booming, with prices rising year after year. These mistresses have accumulated wealth over time, and the departure of the men no longer worries them.
Hopefully
For corrupt
they
CCP
did that.
officials, keeping mistresses has become a badge of honor, and having a mistress has even become a trend in official circles. Statistics show that 95% of corrupt
Damn. Damn.
officials who have been investigated had mistresses or kept second wives.
Wait, how many?
Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell
And
me.
having a mistress has even become a trend in
Yeah,
official circles.
we would never
Statistics show
ever
that
imagine.
95% of corrupt officials
That's a lot. Okay. That's really bad.
who have been investigated
Holy
had
shit.
mistresses or kept second wives.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I
Wow.
didn't knew that. I have
Holy
no
fuck.
idea
But
at
how many are
all.
corrupt? I don't know. That is insane. The 5% are women. Yeah, exactly. Oh my fucking god. You know what's funny is I think that you're probably right about that. You're only corrupt? Yeah. Propaganda? I don't know about propaganda. I feel like in a lot of cases stuff like that is true. 102% are corrupt? Yeah, there's the video. That is fucking crazy. Bill Clinton would fit right in. Yeah, is that right here? What's this here? China is doing reverse DEI. It's crazy how, like, you have, like, a whole economy built around something, and then it just ends up turning in reverse, you know? And I think that there's, like, so many people. I've seen so many guys. Like, there's, like, the whole passport thing. Like, oh, I'm going to go over there and, like, meet my wife over there or something like that. It's super, super fucking common. It is incredibly
Nah, but I think it's different. The guys usually, generally, they go to other country to find someone to be with, to marry, and not to play with. Usually, at least what I know, what I've seen, they usually choose a girl outside from overseas and they go there and they marry them. Like, some decide to bring them back to their country together, and some decide to stay on her country together with them. It depends a lot, but usually it's totally different of the situation.
common. Passport bros? Yeah, I know. It's massive. Yeah, top comment. Just like Mao envisioned. Yeah, exactly. Give me a minute. I got to use the bathroom. I'll link you guys the video. Give it a like. I like watching these because I find them very interesting. China's doing reverse DEI, trying to get their women back at home. I think there's a lot of places that are doing that. Actually, like, it's getting super common.
Before we go any further, I want to take this brief moment here to thank all of you, my patrons, that support my work here on YouTube, and especially my Three-Tailed Fox tier members, Heath Rowell, Wallen Wolf, Fenny Sylvy, and Zalost, for the incredible support to my work. Thank you very, very much. You guys are amazing. Also, thanks to all of you who supported me through Ko-Fi or Tron. Thank you very, very much. You can support this channel life and growth with just $5 a month and gain access to many perks. This is less than a burrito. Check out my Patreon, link is in the description below. But yeah, I think at the end the interest is the same. Like, these girls, they marry with foreigners, even though they are not like prostituting themselves, so they are not doing the same thing as those girls were doing, but they were interested mainly in the financial situation of that person from outside, you know, of the foreigner, or maybe just the fact that his appearance is different from the people from her country. Maybe it's some of both. I don't know. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Asmo, I hope your father gets better. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, check links below. Bye.